Hello, my name is Schmitz with the Purdue Extension service in Posey County. Today we're going to be talking about some springtime pruning considerations in your landscape. Normally, the best time to prune your tree or shrub would be in the late winter. For southern Indiana, that would be approximately the last couple of weeks in February, extending up into early March in northern Indiana. We want the worst of the cold temperatures to be past, but we don't want any spring green up or nutrients to be rushing back into the branches of the tree. However, if your tree or shrub happens to bloom in the springtime, then a late winter pruning would significantly reduce the color show of that flowering tree or shrub in the spring. Therefore, it is recommended that we wait until the spring blooming tree or shrub finishes blooming and then immediately prune before it gets too warm into the summertime and we see a lot more pest and disease pressure. You have to be in the right mindset to prune your tree. You have to remember what we are doing is essentially an amputation. An amputation of the limbs of the tree in order to keep that tree healthy. So, the mindset you need, in my opinion, is I'd like to listen to a little Pantera. I'll say that again. I'd like to listen to a little Pantera. You want to be aggressive, but you don't want to be full of anger or rage. You don't want to be thinking to yourself, I need to hear 5 minutes alone right now. You don't need to be thinking to yourself, all I need to do is scream, walk. Likewise, you don't need to be thinking to yourself, Michael Bublé sounds like a lovely musical option for the moment. No, when Michael Bublé is a lovely musical option for the moment, that's the time that we run out to the craft store, maybe get us some watercolors, prepare to paint a few happy little trees. You want to be a little aggressive, but not too aggressive. For the third time, I'd like to listen to a little Pantera right now. When we're going to prune our tree, or amputate our limb as it were, we want equipment that is clean and sharp and will get the job done. A scissor type pair of loppers is a great tool as long as we're using the right size for the right size of limb that we'd like to prune. For smaller limbs, this handheld shear, scissor type, will work very well. We also have an anvil type lopper here, which is not as recommended for pruning cuts because when amputating something, a scissors is always going to do a cleaner job than an anvil. We also have the potential to do some chainsaw-like trimming of particularly shrubbery with very small outer limbs. We have a hatchet here that could be used either for lack of anything better or if we're aiming to kill the tree. A hacksaw may be used for pruning wherein we have a large branch that needs to come down and we have the accessibility to get to it safely. An axe could be, once again, like a hatchet, an opportunity to kill the tree or an opportunity to get at limbs when we have no other option. You see a pen here, which is small but does have a sharp point and would take some time, but barring any other option, could potentially be used. And we all know that the pen is of course mightier than the sword. Now this fly swatter would not be used for pruning trees, but may be used for standing outside, waving at the neighbor kids and trying to get them off of your lawn. When pruning, it is advisable to prune no more than 1/3 of the tree's branches in any particular year. That said, the fewer cuts made, the better. The easier it is for the plant to heal, and the less likely that a resultant infection or infestation would occur. We want to make the cut close to the collar of the limb with a larger limb. We want to leave as little surface area exposed after the cut as possible, and we only want to remove those limbs that either currently are problematic from a human safety or a tree health standpoint, or will become problematic if allowed to grow in the manner in which it is currently growing in the future. So if it's currently a problem, that's a potential pruning cut. If it will be a problem if it's continuing to grow in that manner, that's a potential pruning cut. Otherwise, we want to leave as much top growth as possible for the photosynthetic process. That wraps up the content to be shared in this video for today. Thank you all for watching, and stay tuned for more content from the Area 3 Ag and Natural Resource Educators with Purdue Extension.